Hello, bonjour, and welcome to the Canadian Commercial Corporation's annual public meeting. Thank you for joining us. I'm Douglas Harrison, Chair of CCC's Board of Directors, and I'm pleased to be here today to review the organization's results for the year 2022-2023. We are presenting our meeting online so that we can reach the greatest number of Canadians. Should you have any questions pertaining to the information shared in this video, please direct them to communications@ccc.ca, and it will be our pleasure to provide you with an answer via email. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm in Toronto today, and that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, and most recently the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We pay our respect to the Indigenous peoples, their ancestors, and their contributions to this great country. For more than 75 years, CCC has been supporting the Government of Canada's international trade and foreign policy agendas while helping Canadian companies sell goods and services to governments around the world. CCC's government-to-government contracting strategy aligns with the Government of Canada's policies in international trade. It creates opportunities to develop and strengthen bilateral relationships while facilitating export opportunities for Canadian companies that might otherwise be beyond their reach. By mitigating the foreign buyers' risks in this manner, CCC's government-to-government contracting approach creates an additional incentive for governments around the world to buy Canadian. Despite a challenging economy in 2022-2023 that was marked by widespread supply chain disruption and evolving geopolitics, CCC continued to deliver strong results for Canadians and for Canadian exporters. CCC delivered a 60% year-over-year increase in contracts signed during the fiscal year, and we continue to focus on growing the number of government-to-government exporters in Canada. CCC delivers its services through three business lines: the Defence Production Sharing Agreement, which provides access to procurement opportunities with the U.S. Department of Defense; International Prime Contracting, which serves government-to-government opportunities across a range of industries and countries; and a Sourcing and Emergency Response line, which serves various Government of Canada departments. These lines of business will be discussed in greater detail later in this meeting. CCC's strategy to deliver on our mandate and on these three business lines are approached through three strategic pillars: growth, operational excellence, and environmental, social, and governance practices. The growth pillar seeks to serve a greater number of Canadian companies and encourage their growth in international markets. The operational excellence pillar leverages data, technology, and processes to simplify doing business with CCC while managing cost, complexity, execution, and risk oversight. The environmental, social, and governance pillar ensures a focus on ESG within our business and our actions. CCC enters commercial contracts with both foreign government buyers and Canadian exporters. This business model mitigates risks for Canadian exporters because CCC leverages its capacity as a Government of Canada organization to monitor progress and resolve issues that may arise in fulfilling contract requirements. As Canadian firms seek to increase international sales, CCC's involvement can reduce payment collection risks and business development costs, support more advantageous contract and payment terms for Canadian exporters, identify new markets and opportunities, and help manage project execution risk while also focusing on environmental, social, and governance practices. Our ESG strategy sets the foundation for stronger environmental stewardship. It broadens engagement with all sectors of Canadian industry in international trade, and it bolsters influence across the exporter community to conduct international business responsibly and sustainably. The corporation introduced a code for exporters in 2022-2023. The code sets clear expectations and performance standards with respect to labor and human rights, health and safety, environmental protection, transparent and responsible supply chains, and compliance with international laws prohibiting bribery and corruption. I'm very pleased to report that last year CCC was cited by the United Nations Working Group on business and human rights as an example for employing best practices in line with the UN guiding principles on business and human rights. During the 2022-2023 fiscal year, CCC also developed a plan to align with the Greening Government strategy to guide and measure the corporation's progress in reducing its greenhouse gas emissions. As we look to the future, CCC's corporate strategy remains focused on financially sustainable growth, serving our customers, and adding even more value to their business, in addition to continuing to strengthen our commitment to positive environmental, social, and governance practices. I would like to personally thank Minister Ng for her continued support for the important work of CCC and her trust in our vision. I would also like to thank my board colleagues for their dedication and stewardship, as well as CCC's management team and all our team members for their contributions throughout this record year. We are confident in CCC's future. The organization remains well positioned to bring Canadian skills and experiences to bear in foreign markets, strengthen bilateral relationships with governments around the world, and help execute on the Government of Canada's trade agenda. Now I'd like to introduce Kim Douglas, CCC's Vice President of Business Development and Marketing.
Bonjour à tous et bienvenue à tous les téléspectateurs. Je m'appelle Kim Douglas et j'ai l'honneur d'occuper le poste de vice-présidente développement des affaires et du marketing à la Corporation commerciale canadienne. Avant de poursuivre, j'aimerais souligner que Juliette et moi sommes à Ottawa aujourd'hui, où se trouvent les bureaux de la CCC. Nous nous trouvons sur les territoires traditionnels non cédés de la nation algonquine Anishinabeg, les premiers intendants de cette magnifique terre. La CCC espère qu'en reconnaissant la terre sur laquelle nous vivons, travaillons et jouons, nous ferons un pas vers le chemin significatif de réconciliation. À la CCC, nous aidons les entreprises canadiennes à être compétitives sur les marchés mondiaux de l'approvisionnement gouvernemental qui est de plus en plus complexe et concurrentiel. Sur ce marché, les contrats gouvernementaux sont souvent au centre du commerce international et de la politique étrangère. Notre mandat est clair: développer le commerce entre le Canada et les autres pays. Et nous y parvenons depuis plus de 75 ans. La CCC exécute son mandat par le biais de 3 services importants. L'accord sur le partage de production de défense, le service de maître d'œuvre international et notre service d'approvisionnement. En tant que dépositaire de l'accord sur le partage de la production de défense entre le Canada et les États-Unis, connu sous le nom d'APPD, la CCC permet aux exportateurs canadiens de concourir sur un pied d'égalité pour les contrats d'approvisionnement national du ministère de la Défense des États-Unis. Deuxièmement, en tant que maître d'œuvre international, la CCC signe des contrats de gouvernement à gouvernement avec des acheteurs gouvernementaux étrangers afin d'aider les entreprises canadiennes à obtenir davantage des opportunités de contrats internationaux dans divers secteurs industriels. Et enfin, notre service d'approvisionnement. La CCC fournit un soutien en matière d'approvisionnement qui permet aux ministères et aux organismes du gouvernement canadien de fournir de l'aide en nature aux gouvernements étrangers, y compris pour les secours d'urgence en cas de catastrophe. La CCC poursuit divers domaines d'activité et s'occupe de projets stratégiques prioritaires dans de nombreux secteurs, notamment l'aérospatiale, l'agriculture, la défense, l'infrastructure et les technologies d'information et de communication. L'une des réussites de la CCC en 2022-23 a été l'assistance à General Dynamics Mission Systems Canada à rapporter un contrat pour aider l'armée de l'air portugaise à moderniser sa flotte d'avions P-3C. General Dynamics fournira des équipements et des technologies pour moderniser les communications et l'électronique de mission de la flotte portugaise qui sont utilisés pour soutenir les activités de patrouille maritime et de reconnaissance. Un autre succès pour la CCC et le secteur aérospatial canadien a été le partenariat avec International Test Pilot School pour un contrat de formation de pilotes avec la Royal Netherlands Air Force. La formation comprendra des démonstrations d'essais de vol dans des simulateurs dans les installations de l'entreprise à London, en Ontario. Un contrat important de notre secteur d'activité d'APPD en 2022-23 consiste à fournir des kits de lotions de décontamination cutanée de l'entreprise Emergent Biosolutions Canada à toutes les branches de l'armée américaine. Ces kits sont conçus pour éliminer les agents de guerre chimiques de sur la peau. Cette entreprise canadienne, dont les opérations de fabrication et de recherche et développement sont situées à Winnipeg, propose de nombreuses solutions aux menaces sanitaires complexes et urgentes. Nous accélérons nos efforts de croissance et d'excellence opérationnelle pour contribuer à construire la CCC de demain, une entreprise axée sur les résultats, centrée sur les clients et financièrement durable. Nous savons que la CCC réussira lorsque nous aiderons un plus grand nombre d'entreprises canadiennes à accéder et à remporter davantage de contrats à l'échelle mondiale. J'aimerais maintenant céder la parole à Juliette, qui parlera des résultats de la CCC pour 2022-23.
Hello, my name is Juliette Woodfield, and I'm pleased to serve as CCC's Vice President of Corporate Services and Chief Financial Officer. CCC surpassed its corporate financial goals during the 2022-23 fiscal year. This is a testament to clear strategic corporate vision and strong relationships with Canadian exporters. Throughout the year, we continue to take decisive steps to fulfill the objectives set out in our long-term corporate plan. I'm pleased to report that for the year ended March 31st, 2023, CCC had a record-breaking value of export contracts. The value of new export contracts signed across CCC's entire business was $2.26 billion in the year ending March 31st, 2023, an increase of over 60% compared to 2021-22. CCC was active in 50 countries and served 761 Canadian companies, 75% of which were small and medium-sized enterprises. Through CCC, Canadian businesses exported $3.5 billion in goods and services to governments around the world, supporting approximately 13,400 jobs in Canada. This includes $885 million through the Canada-U.S. Defense Production Sharing Agreement with the U.S. Department of Defense. CCC receives a $13 million annual parliamentary appropriation to administer Canada's DPSA commitments and support Canadian exporters selling to the U.S. DoD. The total value of new export contracts also includes $903.8 million in international prime contracts. This represents significant growth for IPC contracts, both in the value and number of contracts signed in 2022-23. Our IPC business line supports a broad range of Canadian clients and industries to sell and execute contracts with governments around the world. CCC's sourcing line provided unwavering support to the Government of Canada's aid efforts for Ukraine. On behalf of Government of Canada departments, CCC executed contracts and delivered $475.7 million worth of Canadian equipment. In addition to these three business lines, CCC builds awareness of our government-to-government contracting services amongst Canadian companies of all sizes with diverse ownership profiles. We also provide advisory services and connect companies to export services with other Government of Canada international trade organizations. We complemented this growth by delivering value to Canadian exporters through several operational excellence initiatives. These continuous improvement projects focused on adding more value to clients and modernizing our entire digital operations. We also enhanced our HR strategy to ensure that we have the skills to satisfy the evolving needs of Canadian exporters, and with a view to building a results-oriented, diverse, and engaged workforce. In closing, I'd like to thank the Board of Directors for their continued support and guidance. I'm also grateful to my management team colleagues and all of our team members for their support of our clients. As we look forward, I'm optimistic about CCC's ability to serve the evolving needs of Canadian companies even more effectively, and to support the Government of Canada's economic recovery efforts and trade priorities. We're here to help Canadian companies win contracts with governments around the world, and by doing so, contributing to creating jobs in Canada and growing our economy. Thank you for joining us today.